So hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we will learn about the one important service like AWS CloudWatch. So this video, I will be explaining the theory concept, the entire CloudWatch. So every service, I am doing the practical also. So today I am explaining the, I will explain the theory concept. Okay, so let's quickly jump into the AWS CloudWatch. Okay, let's quickly share my screen. So I am sharing my screen. I think everyone is able to see my screen, right? Okay. So here, so what is CloudWatch? Why we need use the CloudWatch? What are the features? Okay. So I will take one more slide here, or otherwise I will go here. So I will take one more slide here. Okay. So AWS CloudWatch. So CloudWatch. Okay. So the CloudWatch, what is this CloudWatch? It is basically a service. So which is watching activities on the cloud. Okay. So most of the things it will watch. So the real time example, how we can compare with our, for example, we are having Google Fit application. Okay. So this will monitor how so how many steps you are walking daily, and how many, I mean, what's your heart rate, and how many points you earn, right? So the Google Fit, this is the Google Fit application. It will watch how many steps you are running daily, how many steps you are, I mean, what is the heart rate of your body. So it will monitoring the things, right? So the same way, the CloudWatch, it is like a gatekeeper. Okay. Gatekeeper, gatekeeper will do, like, so it will watch all the things who are entering into the, for example, this is our apartments, who are entering into this particular apartment, and what are all the actions he was doing. Okay. So he will like gatekeeper. Okay, so most of the things it will watch. So in the same way the CloudWatch will also watch on AWS account. So AWS account, what are all the resources we are using? For example, EC2, EC2, you are creating the EC2. So in EC2, what are all you are doing? So what are all the actions you are doing? Okay. And if you are creating S3 bucket, okay, so in S3 bucket, what are all the things you are done? So this will monitor all the things in the CloudWatch. This CloudWatch will basically watching activities on the cloud. Okay. For example, so here, and if you are not, we are not having this feature. Okay. For example, we are not having this CloudWatch feature. So our EC2 instance, at some point of time, so this CPU utilization, it is reached to 80% or 90%. Okay. And so this EC2 will crash. So we are not watching this thing. So our application is down. So in this EC2, we deployed our application. So then our application will be down, and the customers who are accessing this application, so they are not able to access this thing, right? So this is the CloudWatch. So this problem, so this monitoring is, it is very important in the CloudWatch. Okay. And the second one is cost optimization. Okay. So it will tell like, so where what are all the actions, and what are all the resources we are using. So it will tell like, hey, so these resources you are using, this resource, for example, let me take one more slide here. Okay, for example, S3. So one person is created this S3 bucket, but this bucket, it is not in use. It's not in use. Then we are paying the, we if someone is creating this bucket, but we are not using this bucket. So that means the cost is running, right? So then, so we can use the CloudWatch. So what are all the S3 buckets we are using? I mean, what are all the actions performed in the S3 bucket? If it is not performing any operation in this bucket, and this bucket is not in use, then we can delete this S3 bucket. Then our cost will be low, right? Okay. So it is mainly used to track the all the activities in our AWS resources. Okay. So imagine, so EC2 server crashes in the middle of the night. Okay. So you are running on the EC2. Okay. So you are running so your application is running on the EC2 server. So some point of time, so this EC2 server will crash. Then your app is not responding. So slowly, due to high CPU usage. Okay, so without monitoring, so you won't know until users complain. Okay, right? So, and we don't, there is no monitoring is there. So you don't know, right? So you don't know, right? So that's the way. So the monitoring is very important in the AWS CloudWatch, in AWS account. Okay, so what are all the core feature functionalities we are having in this AWS CloudWatch? Okay, first one is metrics. Okay, metrics. So it will collect the metric is nothing but it will collect the all the data points like CPU disk, CPU, CPU utilization. So disk. Okay. So what are all the networks we are using? So monitoring EC2 CPU every 5 minutes. So the metrics is nothing but collects the data points like CPU utilization, disk utilization, network utilization in the things. Okay, next. The second one is alarms. Alarms. Okay. Now, what these alarms will do, like, for example, our EC2, our server is running, our application is running in the EC2 server. Okay, the EC2 server CPU utilization is greater than 80%. Okay, so I am telling like, hey, if CPU utilization of the 80%, so you will send an alarm. Okay, you will send a alert email. You will send an alert email to the particular user. Okay, so let me explain the concept like a very clear. So here I am running EC2 one application in EC2. So at some point of time, this CPU utilization for this server, it is greater than 80%. So if it is greater than 80%, then next it will go to the 90%, then it will go to the 100%. At some point of time, so this EC2 instance is out of storage. But if you want to, your application is if you want to very stable state, you need to, once this application is reached to the 100%, you need to auto scale. You need to scale the EC2. Create one more EC2 instance, and you need to deploy your application. Then no one will face the downtime. Okay. So then restart the EC2 instance. So this is the thing, alarm. So okay. So what alarms will do, like, so if I'm putting like CPU is greater than 80%, so I will provide my email. So I will provide my email. So I will create one alarm. So if EC2 instance is greater than 80%, then send an email to me. Then send an email alert to me. Then so once the email is reached for me, so everyone using the email, right? So then we can go and we can integrate auto scaling. Then we'll scale the EC2 instances. So then the our applications, our apps will not be down, and end users will not be faced anything. Okay. The next one is, next I will take one more slide here. Logs. Logs. Okay. So you can collect the logs from the applications and servers using the cloud logs. So we are having the CloudWatch logs. So in this CloudWatch logs, so I will collect the all the application logs and server logs. Okay. The next component is dashboards. So dashboards. So create a visual dashboard for EC2 RDS using the Lambda. So to track everything in the one screen. So I will show you each and everything. So these logs, dashboards, and everything in the UI. Okay. So the dashboards means, so create a visual dashboard. For example, this is the CPU utilization, this is the memory utilization, this is the network utilization. So in a single screen. So we will able to create the dashboards as well. Okay. Next, events. The one more feature is like events. So trigger actions based on the AWS events. Okay. So event it is nothing but, for example, our EC2 instance is stopped, then send an email. Our EC2 instance is restarted, then send an email. Okay. So this is called, say, this events will use the security monitoring. Okay. Next log insights. So log insights, it is nothing but, so we will send the SQL queries to the sets logs. So it will enable the show error tags, trends with the API failures. Okay. And one more concept, it is like monitoring. Okay. So monitoring. So it is monitoring. It is very important activity. Okay. For example, in the infrastructure as a service and apps, Kubernetes. So it will allow you to get the real life metrics. It will allow to get the real life metrics. So real life metrics, it is nothing but, what are the real life metrics? It is nothing but what CPU utilization for last half an hour, how many API calls you received, how many API calls you received in the last 30 minutes. Okay. And so what are the network you are using? So these are all the real-time metrics. Okay. So we can watch all the things using the CloudWatch. Okay. And it was reducing the cost optimization. Why it is reducing the cost optimization? So it was keep an eye on our AWS account. Okay. Let me, yeah, I will take one more one. Yeah. So this is our AWS account. Okay. So AWS CloudWatch will keep an eye. So each and every activity on our AWS account. Okay. For example, this resource, it is not in use. Then send an we can if there is any resource is not created, it is not used, then send an alarm or send a notification to us. Then we will delete this one. Then the cost will be down. Okay. And so, for example, we can configure. So EC2 is CPU utilization is greater than 80%. Then so we are using so we were monitoring that our EC2 instance is greater than 80% CPU utilization. Then the next task, what I need to do here, I need to configure auto scaling group, and I need to increase the size, increases the EC2, increase the EC2 size, or increase the number of EC2 instances, right? So this is the way. So this is the way we need to use the CloudWatch. Okay. So real-time example. So I will tell you one real-time example. So we are having one EC2 server handles 1000 plus requests here. One minute, I will take one more slide here. Yeah. For example, our EC2 server. So EC2 server handles 1000 plus requests, 1000 plus requests daily. Okay, so some during peak hours, the CPU spikes beyond 80%. Okay, then, so if CPU utilization is greater than 80%, so we will use the CloudWatch metric alarm. So if we are giving, like, if set threshold value is greater than 80%, for you can watch for each 5 minutes. So what action you need to perform, like send an alert via simple notification service to the admin. So so hey admin, so your EC2 instance, threshold value CPU utilization is greater than 80%. Then then you need to increase your EC2 instance capacity, or you need to create one more EC2 instance and you need to deploy your application. Okay. So this is what I want to explain in this today's demo. Like, so I will go through each and every tab here. So I am in the AWS, in my AWS account. Just to go to search your, or otherwise you need to go here. So AWS CloudWatch documentation. Okay. So you just click on this CloudWatch documentation. So what is metrics? What is it will give everything here in the CloudWatch documentation. So let's go to the CloudWatch user guide. Okay, so the Amazon CloudWatch monitors your Amazon Web Services and the applications that you are running in the real time. So you can use the CloudWatch to collect the tracks and the metrics, so which are variables you can measure for your resources and applications. Okay. So this is the, for example, here you can monitor the CPU and disk reads your Amazon EC2 instance, and then use the data to determine whether you should launch the additional instance to handle the increased load. Okay. So you can also use this data to stop under the instance save money. Okay, so here we are having dashboards also. Okay, so here dashboard. So dashboard, it is showing like a CloudWatch console that you can to monitor your resources in a single view. So what are all the resources you are having? So you can watch in the single view. So even those resources that are spread across in the different regions. Okay, so this is the best advantage of the dashboard. Next I will go to the metrics. Okay, so metrics are data points here. So metrics. So here, so basic monitoring tool here. Let me go back to the metrics. Yeah. So metrics are data. So about the performance of the system. So by default, many services provide the free metrics resource such as EC2 instances, EBS volumes, so RDS instance. So you can also enable the detailed monitoring for the some resources. Okay, so metric data is kept for 15 months. So enabling you to view both up to the minute data and historical data. Next. So next, what is the alarms? Okay. So alarms. So you can create a metric and compose it the alarm in CloudWatch. So metric alarm watches a single CloudWatch metric, or the CloudWatch metric, it is nothing but CPU utilization is 80%. So are the result of the match expression based on the CloudWatch metrics. So the alarm performs one or more actions based on the value of the metric or expression related to the threshold over the number of the time periods. Okay, so this the action can be sending the notification, simple notification service, or performing Amazon EC2 action or Amazon EC2 auto scaling action. So what are all the action you want to perform? So then you can able to perform all your actions there. Okay. So these are all there are so many things there, so you can explore it. So this is the concept I want to explain today. So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed the channel, then please subscribe my channel.